Are you sitting down? Because what we're about to share with you could completely change how you see the future of the Iraqi dinar, IQD, and Vietnamese dong, VND. For months, rumors have been flying around about redemption centers, new rates, and whether major banks like Bank of America are actually preparing for something big. Well, today, we're cutting through and breaking down what's really happening, and trust me, you'll want to hear every word. So grab your coffee, sit tight, and stay tuned until the end because the details coming out right now are unlike anything we've seen before in the global currency market. Let's start with capturing everyone's attention: Bank of America's recent internal updates and quiet system changes. These updates have sparked serious conversations among currency holders. Many believe the bank is preparing for a massive wave of foreign currency redemptions, especially for holders of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. While major institutions don't usually comment on these developments publicly, what's happening behind the scenes is hard to ignore. Insiders have noticed patterns of staff training, technology upgrades, and foreign exchange system adjustments that seem to point toward preparation for something big. Whether you're a small investor or someone holding larger amounts, this could be the moment that changes everything. Now, let's talk about the redemption centers, one of the most discussed and misunderstood topics in the currency community. Are they real? According to many credible voices within the exchange circles, yes, they are. These aren't ordinary bank branches where you walk in and trade a few bills. They are specialized facilities designed to process large-scale currency redemptions, often offering contract rates that you simply won't find at your local bank. For a long time, people dismissed the idea as speculation or rumor, but consistent reports suggest these centers have been operating quietly and carefully for some time. The reason you don't see them publicly advertised is because they're meant for specific transactions, not general banking. So why would some people say redemption centers aren't real? The answer is simple: secrecy and limited access. These centers all operate under strict confidentiality and aren't open to everyone. Only certain currency holders, often those verified and registered, are invited to redeem at special rates. This limited access naturally fuels skepticism, but the quiet nature of their work is part of what keeps the entire process secure. After all, we're not talking about small amounts of money here. These are life-changing financial transactions involving currencies that may soon see major revaluations. The combination of exclusivity, large sums, and privacy creates the perfect environment for misunderstanding, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. Now, let's connect the dots between Bank of America and these centers. Reports show that Bank of America has been positioning itself as one of the key players prepared to handle major foreign currency redemptions. Over the past few months, there have been system updates, staff briefings, and training sessions that align with what you would expect if a large-scale currency event were on the horizon. The timing of these moves isn't random. Financial institutions don't invest resources into major upgrades without reason. The question we all need to ask is, what are they preparing for? Could this be connected to upcoming shifts in the IQD and VND exchange rates? Let's talk about the Vietnamese dong first. This currency has been quietly strengthening due to Vietnam's strong economic growth and global trade expansion. Unlike speculative talk, Vietnam's progress is supported by real numbers, growing manufacturing output, foreign investments, and a stable government focused on modernization. As these fundamentals improve, so does the value of their currency. While it hasn't officially revalued yet, signs suggest steady upward movement, and some financial experts believe it's just a matter of time before we see major adjustments. The question isn't if, but when. For VND holders, patience might soon pay off in a very big way. Now, on to the Iraqi dinar, the star of countless conversations and the reason most of you are watching this right now. The dinar has been the subject of speculation for years, and not without reason. Iraq's vast oils and efforts to rebuild its economy make it one of the most resource-rich nations on Earth. Recently, there have been stronger signs of progress in stabilizing their banking system, managing inflation, and improving trade relationships. These are all steps that move Iraq closer to a potential revaluation or rate adjustment. According to several reliable reports, the dinar's contract rate, available only through redemption centers, could be significantly higher than the standard public rate. This brings us to a fascinating point: the origins of the dinar's contract rate. Many believe this stems from international agreements made years ago to support Iraq's recovery and reintegration into the global economy. These agreements were designed to ensure fairness and stability as Iraq rebuilt its infrastructure and strengthened its national currency. It's said that these arrangements have been carefully monitored and adjusted over time to reflect Iraq's true economic value, and with global oil prices and exports rising, it's no surprise that investors are once again looking closely at the Iraqi dinar as a legitimate, long-term opportunity. The speculation around contract rates often raises another big question. Why can't everyone get access to them? The answer lies in how international financial contracts are structured. These rates are reserved for specific, pre-negotiated redemptions, often connected to agreements made at government or institutional levels. This means only certain participants through verified redemption centers may be eligible for these higher rates. It's not about favoritism, it's about contractual obligations and structured financial rollouts. While this may frustrate some individual holders, it also explains why redemption centers exist and why they operate with such confidentiality. Let's pause for a moment and think about what all of this means for everyday investors. If Bank of America and other major institutions are truly preparing for a wave of currency exchanges, then we could be entering one of the most significant financial transitions of this decade. The systems being updated, the staff being trained, and the discussions surrounding redemption centers all point to something much larger than ordinary foreign exchange activity. Whether it happens this quarter or next, the groundwork seems to be in place for something historic. Skeptics often argue that if this were real, it would be on mainstream news. But history shows that large financial shifts often happen quietly before they hit the headlines. Banks and governments typically move first, adjusting systems and processes before the public even realizes what's happening. By the time official announcements come, the institutions involved are already fully prepared. That's exactly what makes this current period so important. We're witnessing quiet movement behind closed doors, and for those paying attention, it's the calm before the storm. Many of you have asked, when will this happen? While no one can give an exact date, the growing alignment between major banks, economic indicators, and currency activity suggests the pieces are falling into place. The ongoing strengthening of both Iraq's and Vietnam's economies supports the theory that their currencies are undervalued. When global recognition catches up to reality, the resulting revaluation could create new wealth for those holding these currencies. That's why staying informed, patient, and ready is essential right now. Another critical point to understand is documentation. If redemption centers are activated for higher rate exchanges, they will require verification of your currency holdings and identification documents. These are not casual transactions. Everything will be recorded and reported under strict financial regulations. Being prepared with proper paperwork will make the process smoother and protect you from delays or disqualification. Remember, this is about legitimacy and security, and that's why everything is handled professionally and discreetly. Let's also take a look at the broader picture. The world's economic balance is shifting. Countries are reassessing their currency's real values, and global trade alliances are changing fast. As inflation affects major economies, emerging markets like Iraq and Vietnam are positioning themselves as new financial powerhouses. Both nations are rich in natural and human resources, and their currencies reflect that hidden potential. The coming years could redefine global currency strength, and being ahead of that curve could make all the difference. For those who've held their currencies for years, this journey has required patience and faith. There have been countless rumors, false alarms, and confusing updates. But right now, the signals seem stronger than ever before. The alignment of bank readiness, government cooperation, and international economic trends points toward progress. Whether it unfolds slowly or all at once, we're closer than we've ever been to seeing significant changes in how these currencies are valued. It's important to emphasize caution and awareness. Scams and misinformation always surface during times like these. Make sure any information you act on comes from verified and trusted channels. Redemption centers, if contacted, should provide legitimate verification procedures. Never hand over your currency or personal data without confirmation of authenticity. Financial opportunities are real, but so are risks, and staying smart is part of being prepared. Let's take a closer look at what's been happening with the Vietnamese dong lately. Vietnam's economy has been on an incredible growth path. The country has become a manufacturing powerhouse, producing electronics, garments, and industrial goods for global markets. International investors have poured billions into Vietnam's economy, pushing steady growth in GDP and exports. The dong's consistent performance against the US dollar has drawn attention from traders and analysts who once overlooked it. And now, whispers of new exchange rates being prepared behind the scenes are sparking optimism among long-term currency holders who've been waiting patiently for movement. When we shift focus back to the Iraqi dinar, the story becomes even more layered. Iraq has massive oil reserves, making it one of the wealthiest nations in the world in terms of natural resources. However, for years, its economy suffered due to internal conflict and limited modernization. That's changing. Iraq's central bank has been restructuring policies, introducing new technology, and stabilizing its exchange framework. International trade agreements and infrastructure investments have been increasing steadily. There's growing belief that Iraq's currency value could soon reflect its true economic strength, especially if contract rates negotiated years ago are finally activated. And yes, there is an interesting connection being discussed among analysts. A contract established during the Trump administration. Reports suggest that this contract involved long-term agreements with Iraq aimed at stabilizing its economy and setting fair exchange frameworks for the dinar. Whether this contract plays a direct role in the upcoming rate adjustments is yet to be confirmed, but many believe it laid the groundwork for what we're seeing today. The idea that these agreements are now aligning with Bank of America's preparations is fueling widespread discussion within the dinar and dong communities. Bank of America's involvement adds credibility to the growing anticipation. They are one of the most established financial institutions in the United States, and their participation signals that this isn't just talk. It's preparation for real financial movement. If they're updating systems and training staff, it's because they see what's coming. That's a major signal to the entire financial community. The big players are getting ready, and so should we. To wrap up, let's focus on what matters most: knowledge, timing, and preparation. The IQD and VND both hold incredible potential, supported by strong economic fundamentals. Bank of America's quiet actions, the ongoing reports about redemption centers, and the growing stability in both Iraq and Vietnam all point towards something major approaching. The key now is to stay calm, stay informed, and be ready when the opportunity arrives. So if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from us here at Iraqi Dinar News. Share this video with others who are waiting for answers about the IQD and VND. The coming months could be life-changing, and having the right information at the right time can make all the difference. This is your moment to prepare for what's next. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and remember, the best is yet to come.